going to start the recording, and I'll also stop it at the end of class. And if you want to stay and talk to me or ask any questions, I'd love to talk to you. I'm just going to go ahead and read the waiver, and then we'll go ahead and get started. In order to make these classes as freely accessible as possible to our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure that you've moved nearby furniture and other potential hazards. If you are participating in yoga class or class that involves lying on the ground, we recommend using a mat, or if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice and care as needed. William Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical examination, follow the healthcare advice of your provider before participating. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started in child's pose. I'm going to move my computer so you can see my mat. I also have the chat up on the side, so if at any point you can't hear me, please tell me so that I'm not just talking to myself over here. Just bringing your big toes together, knees wide, melting your chest down towards your mat. Releasing your forehead down. Really spreading your fingertips wide. Pressing your hips further back towards your heels. Imagine any tension from your body is melting out of your head and into the earth, knowing that you don't need to hold on to it anymore. Starting to notice your breath here. Feeling your lower belly expand with every inhale and contract with every exhale. Really engaging your diaphragm as you breathe. We're going to take one more deep breath in here. And deep breath out. Walking both hands over towards the right side of your mat. Press your left hand on top of your right hand, stretching out your side body here. Then coming back to center and go over towards the other side, pressing your right hand on top of your left hand. Then coming back to center, we're going to leave our hands and our knees exactly where they are. Just going to come forward into swan. So bring your hips down towards the ground and your feet behind you. Imagine that you could reach your head to your feet. I don't really know who could do that, but just imagine you could. And then come back to child's pose. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, forward swan. Stretching our lower back out, opening our hip flexors. And exhale back, child's pose. Last time, inhale forward, really roll your shoulders back. And exhale back to child's pose. Coming up to tabletop when you're ready, we're going to come into some cat-cows. So first, drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, look up towards the sky for cow. Exhale into cat, look towards your thighs, round your spine. Good, inhale, cow, dropping your belly, looking up. Exhale, cat, arching your back. We're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Coming back to that neutral spine, really pulling your core up and in, making sure that your wrists are right below your shoulders and your knees are right below your hips. We're going to start to extend your right arm and your left leg out. Then tap your fingers and toes down to the mat. Inhale up. Exhale, elbow to knee. Good. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend everything in. Good. Keep going like that, doing 2 more full rounds. Moving at your own pace. Nice, slow, and controlled movements here. When you're done with that, placing your hand and knee down, going straight to the other side. So your left arm and your right leg extend, tapping fingers and toes. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Good. Keep going like that, doing 3 more on this side. Really making sure you're engaging your core. This warms up your shoulder, back, core, and hamstring. Let's do 1 more of those here. When you're done with that, placing your hand and knee down, and then we're gonna flip our right hand over so your fingertips face your left hand, and then you're gonna lean over towards the left. Just stretching out your wrist a little bit. Good, and then coming back to center, touch every fingertip to your thumb, 1 by 1. And then go back the other way. And then shake your wrist out, taking some wrist circles. Then going the other way. And placing that hand back down, going to the other side, flipping that left hand over so your fingertips face your right hand. Then lean over towards the right. Good, coming back up to center, touch every fingertip to your thumb. Then go back the other way. Shaking out that wrist. Taking those wrist circles. Then going the other way. Placing your hands back down on the ground. Then we're going to flip our hands around so your palms are down and your fingertips face towards your body. And then you're going to lean back a little bit until you feel that stretch in your forearms. You can either stay still or you can kind of rock back and forth a little bit, maybe like picking your palms up, but weaving your fingers down and moving around however feels good to you. Taking 1 more breath in here. 1 more breath out. Coming back to that neutral spine, neutral arm position. Then cross your ankles, rolling back to a seat. Rolling your shoulders back, putting your hands on your knees. Bringing your right ear to your right shoulder, starting to stretch out our neck here. Then coming back up to center, bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Good, inhale center, exhale right. Inhale center, and exhale left. Coming back up to center, look down towards your lap, still sitting up nice and tall. And then interlace your fingers behind your head, very, very gently pulling your head down a little bit so you feel an extra stretch in your neck. On an inhale, you're going to open your elbows out to the side and look up towards the ceiling, opening your chest. Exhale, curling down, stretching out the back of your neck, bringing your elbows down. Inhale, open and expand. Exhale, curl in. Good, 1 more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, just release your hands back down to your legs. Then inhale your arms out and up. Exhale through heart center and down. Good, inhale up. Exhale through heart center and down. Last time, inhale, pause at the top this time and twist towards either direction, bringing your hand across your thigh. Coming back up to center, hands up, then twist towards the other side. Good, coming back to center, and then folding forward over your crossed legs to help warm up our lower back and our hips. You can rock side to side a little bit, helping to increase synovial fluid to your joints. Coming back up to center, we're going to do one last stretch in this position. So bring your feet together and knees wide, coming into butterfly, lengthening your spine and folding forward just as much as is comfortable to you here. You don't have to fold very far or put your knees down very far since we're just at the beginning of class. Coming back up to center when you're ready, bringing your knees in, and then you're going to bring your right leg out to like a diagonal line and your left leg in so your foot is on your right thigh. Inhale, lengthen your spine, make sure you're really flexing that right foot and start to fold forward towards the center. Feeling that stretch on your inner thigh. Making sure you're really flexing that right foot. And walk your hands over so you're stretching down over that right leg. You can hold onto your foot if you want, or you can just put your hands next to your leg. Then you're going to come up to center, placing that left hand behind you with your fingertips facing away from your body. Then you're going to press up onto that left knee, coming into a back bend. That right arm comes up and over. And coming back to that seat and fold down over your right leg. Good. Inhale up. Exhale into your back bend. Inhale, sit down. And then exhale, fold over your right leg. Keep going at your own pace for around 3 more flows of that. You can move faster or slower than me, whatever feels good to you. Really warming up your entire body with this. Opening up your shoulders and your hips. Let's do one more. Pausing in that fold. Then coming back up to center and switching sides. So your left leg is out, your right leg is in. Sitting up nice and tall, rolling your shoulders back, and then fold towards the center. Notice the difference on each side. For me, this side feels a lot tighter than the other one. Then starting to walk your hands over towards that left foot, stretching over your leg. And then coming up to center, bringing that right hand behind you with your fingertips facing away from your body. Coming up into that back bend. Most of the weight is in your knee, but a little bit is also in your foot. Coming back to your seat and folding down over that left leg. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, sit down. And exhale, fold. Do about 3 more on this side, just like the other side. Really just enjoying the stretch here, letting your body move at your own pace. It's really nice on Zoom. No one can see what you're doing, so you're free to do really whatever you want. When you're done, pausing, folding over that left leg. And then coming back up to center. Bring both knees in, and you can kind of windshield wiper your knees from side to side, releasing your lower back and your hips again. Bring your knees back up to center, and then crossing your ankles. Really fancy transition here. Just come to like being on your knees on your mat, and then bring your right leg out to the side. Bring your arms up on an inhale, and exhale, tip over that right leg. You should feel this in your hip flexor, side body, and then maybe also in your leg that you're folding over. So on this side of your right leg. Coming over towards the other side, placing that left hand down. Your right arm is up towards the sky. And you're going to lift that right leg off the ground. Pausing here for a second. Then extending that right arm over your head. Then we're going to do a few little crunches. Exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Then inhale, extend. Good. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, extend. Keep going your own pace. We won't be here for very long. Really feel your core engage on every crunch. Let's do 2 more. Good. Last one. And inhale, extend back out. Bending your knee, reach around, grab onto your foot or your ankle, and kick into your hand for crossbow. Even if you can just barely reach your foot, just pause there. This is definitely a pose that requires a lot. You have to be open in your hip flexor and shoulder and also balance. So just be patient with yourself. Releasing that when you're ready. Coming back up to center, we're just going to switch sides. So your left leg is out this time. Rolling those shoulders back, always starting with that good form. Inhale your arms up, and exhale, tip over the left leg. You can look up towards the sky if you want. Then coming to modified side plank, bringing that right hand down, left arm up. Then extending, lifting your left leg up towards the sky. And extending your left arm over your head, pausing here. Really engaging your core. Then exhale, elbow to knee. Good. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze. 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last 2. And last 1. Extend everything back out. Then bend your back knee. Reach around, grab onto your foot or your ankle. Kick into your hand. Try to really open up towards the ceiling. Releasing that when you're ready, coming back up to center, then just coming back into tabletop. If you're not facing the front of your mat, turn and face the front of your mat, tucking your toes under and pressing back to downward facing dog, pedaling out your feet here. Warming up the back of your legs. Try to really roll your shoulders away from your ears, even though we're in downward facing dog. Inhale up onto your tippy toes and exhale your heels down. Good. 2 more of those. Inhale up and exhale lower. Last time, inhale and exhale. Looking forward towards your hands, start to walk your feet up to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Bending your knees, you can grab onto opposite elbows and just hang out here. You can sway back and forth, nod your head yes and no, releasing any tension from your spine and your neck. You can straighten your legs as much as is comfortable to you. Then releasing any binds. Inhale, halfway lift, pressing your hands into your shins. And exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, one vertebrae at a time, coming up to standing. Your head is the last thing to rise. Inhale your arms out and up. Exhale to heart center, pausing here and closing your eyes. Notice your feet connected to the earth. Your core pulling up and in. Your shoulders rolling back. Relaxing your face here. Feeling the difference in your body between now and when you started class just a few minutes ago. And thanking yourself for making this difference. Slowly start to open your eyes. Inhale your arms out and up. Then tip over towards the right, bringing your hand down to your leg. Inhale up to center. Exhale, tipping over towards the left. Good. Inhale, center. Then bring your hands to your lower back, either with your fingers facing down or up, just bring a little support to your back. Start to press your hips forward and lean back just a little bit. Coming back up to center. Inhale your arms out and up. And exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen your spine. Exhale, stepping back to plank and holding here, nice and strong. Really pressing up and out of your hands. Pressing especially into your pointer finger and your thumb. That helps protect your wrists. Pausing here for one more breath in. Then on an exhale, bring your knees to the ground. And then with your elbows hugging in towards your body, bring your body down to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra, rolling your shoulders back, lifting your chest off the mat. You could lift your hands up because there's no weight in your hands. And then exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale up to cobra. So there's a little bend in your elbows, but this time there's weight in your hands. And exhale, lower. Inhale to that same cobra or upward facing dog if you want. If you're in upward facing dog, bringing your thighs off the mat. No matter where you are, really rolling your shoulders back. And exhale into downward facing dog. Pedaling out your feet here. On an inhale, bringing your right leg up towards the ceiling for three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah pose. Good. Inhale, extend that leg up and out. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Good. Inhale, extend. Exhale to your left elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale all the way through, placing your foot in between your hands, then coming down onto your back knee for low lunge. Really rolling your shoulders back, pausing here for a second. Then if you would like to, you can bring your hands up to your thigh for a little bit of a deeper stretch. Either staying here or placing your right arm on your right thigh and extending your left arm up and over. And bringing both hands down on either side of your front foot, pressing back to half splits, straightening your front leg and flexing your front foot. Trying to square your hips here by bringing that right hip back and left hip forward. Try to lengthen your spine. On an inhale, come forward to your low lunge. And on an exhale, come back to half splits. 2 more times. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Good, last time. Inhale. And exhale back, pausing here. Placing that left hand down, inhale your right arm up. This helps stretch the entire back of your right leg and get into your IT band as well. Bringing that hand back down, coming forward to low lunge and go back into that twist. So your left hand is down, your right arm is up. Keep hugging your right leg in towards your body. From here, tuck your back toes under. We're going to step back to side plank. So that right foot is going to go back to meet your left foot. Really pressing your hips up towards the sky. You can always step that top foot in front of you or bring that bottom knee down to the ground. Do whatever variation feels good for you. Holding here for one more breath in. Exhale back to plank, and then press back to downward facing dog. Inhaling that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah pose. Good, inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale one more time, extend it up. Exhale to your left elbow. Actually, one more time, three-legged dog. Then bring it through in between your hands, coming into that low lunge on the left side. Trying to make sure that back leg is in a diagonal line instead of having your hips right above your knee. This way we're getting more into our hip flexor. You can bring your hands up onto your thigh if you would like to. You guys are doing great. Bringing that left arm onto your left thigh, extending your right arm up and over. Pausing here for one more inhale. Exhale, bringing your hands down on either side of your front foot, and then pressing back to half splits, lengthening your spine. This time, your back knee and back hip are in one line. Trying to roll your shoulders back. I know I say that a lot, but it's really important. On your next inhale, coming forward to low lunge, and exhale back to half splits. Good, inhale forward, exhale back. Last time, inhale. Exhale back, half splits, pausing here, placing that right hand down, inhale your left arm up. Bring that hand back down, coming forward to low lunge, and then coming back into that twist. So right arm down, left arm up. And then tucking your back toes under, then step back to side plank. So that left foot comes back to meet your right foot. Pressing your hips up towards the sky, pulling your core up and in. Really working your obliques here. My arm is shaking, but we're doing great. We're gonna hold for 3, 2, 1. Bring your hand down to the ground, then press back to downward facing dog. Coming down to child's pose, this time with your knees together and your arms behind you. Getting a deeper stretch in your lower back. Just coming back to your breath here. Pausing here for one more deep inhale. And exhale. Coming back up to tabletop when you're ready, leaving your hips and your knees where they are. Start to bring your hands forward, bringing your forehead down to the ground for happy puppy pose. Just like at the beginning of class, imagine all your stress and worries leaving your head and going into the mat. This is a really good pose for anxiety and also for opening up your shoulders and your back. Really rolling your shoulders away from your ears. Continue to pull your core up and in, even in a stretch like this. Then coming forward to Sphinx, coming down onto your belly, having your elbows right underneath your shoulders. Either pausing here or bringing your hands a little bit out to the side and then pressing up into seal. No matter which position you're in, looking over your right shoulder and coming back to center and looking over your left shoulder. Coming back down onto your elbows, and then kind of make a little pillow with your hands and lie down on your hands. Bringing your feet together or hips width apart if it hurts your lower back, and bring your hands next to your sides. On your next inhale, we're going to come up into Locust Pose, lifting up your arms and your legs. Try to lift a little higher. Imagine your thighs could lift off the mat. Then exhale, lower down, bring one cheek to the mat. Bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Releasing your legs long again, turning your palms so they face the ground. We're going to inhale up into that Locust Pose again. Holding here for one more deep inhale, one more deep exhale. Then coming down to the mat, bringing the other cheek to the ground. Just shake out your hips a little bit. Then we're going to come into one more, either Locust Pose like we were just doing, or bow pose if you would like. So grabbing on to your feet or your ankles, then kicking your ankles into your hands to lift yourself up into bow. Holding here for one more breath in. Exhale, releasing down. You can windshield wiper your feet again. It's just always good to release your lower back before we move on. Bring your legs back down, bring your hands next to your sides, pressing up into upward facing dog, and then back to sitting down on your heels. We're going to come up onto our knees here and tuck our toes under. Then we're going to come into half camel. So really press your hips forward and bring your right hand back to your right heel and extend your left arm up and over. Good, coming back up to center. Then we're going to go to the other side. So bringing your left hand to your left heel, extending that right arm back, really pressing your hips forward. Coming back up to center here. And now we're going to do full camel. You can either leave your toes tucked or untucked, bringing both hands to your ankles, to your heels, I guess, and then pressing your hips forward. You can release your head back. You can also just press onto your lower back and do that same back bend that we were doing at the beginning, standing up. Good, coming back up to center when you're ready, just sitting down on your heels, keeping your spine nice and straight at first. Just releasing that pose. Taking some shoulder rolls towards the front of the room. Then towards the back. Then coming down to a quick child's pose just to release that. Taking a deep breath in here. Exhale it all out. Coming up to tabletop once again. This time you might want to turn so you're like the long way on your mat. We're going to come into frog pose. So bring your knees as like wide as is comfortable to you. You can put something underneath your knees or roll up your mat so that there's more cushion underneath your knees. Then you're going to bring your forearms to the ground or lie down all the way on the ground. No matter where you are, making sure that your legs are making 90-degree angles and that your feet are making 90-degree angles with your legs. So you're really flexing your feet. Just kind of relaxing your entire body, telling yourself it's okay to relax here. This pose is really good for opening up your hips and increasing hip mobility, which is so important in everyday life, especially now that we're all sitting so much. Taking one more big deep breath in. Exhale it all out. Good. Pressing yourself up and out of that pose. Bring your knees together, turning to face the front of your mat again and pressing back to downward facing dog. Coming into pigeon here. So bringing that right foot forward so that your knee comes to your right wrist and then your right foot comes to the left side of your mat, anywhere that is comfortable to you. Really rolling your shoulders back, feeling that stretch more in your hip flexor here. And then when you're ready, you can fold forward either to your forearms or all the way down, feeling the stretch a little more in your outer hip when you're folded. Make sure you keep flexing your right foot. That helps to protect your knee. Taking one last deep breath in. Exhale, releasing everything. Pressing up and out of that pose when you're ready. Tucking your back toes under. Taking that right leg into three-legged dog. And then releasing it down. Going straight to the other side. So that left leg comes forward. So your knee comes to your left wrist. And then your foot comes across towards the right side. You can kind of move around a little bit, feel where you feel a stretch the most, and pause there. Then you can start to fold onto either your forearms or all the way down on your mat. One last deep breath in. One last exhale out. Pressing up and out of that pose, Last time back into three-legged dog, tucking your back toes under, shooting that left leg up, bringing your feet down to meet each other, then looking forward towards your hands. Start to walk through to a seat, extending your legs out in front of you, sitting up nice and tall. Then folding forward over your legs, either bringing your hands next to your legs or to your feet, coming into a forward fold. This is a counter pose to that camel that we were doing. Trying to lengthen your spine a little bit. Releasing that, scooting forward so you have enough room to lie down. Bringing your arms out to the sides, and then slowly one vertebrae at a time, coming down to your mat. Bringing your knees into your chest and rocking side to side. Putting your hands on top of your knees and taking your knees in little circles. This helps to release your lower back. And then going the other way. Bringing your arms out to a T, then bringing your knees over towards the left for a twist. Looking over your right arm. Just releasing your lower back here. Coming back up to center, and then bring your knees over towards the right, looking over towards the left. Coming up to center, grabbing onto outside edges of your feet, coming into happy baby. Bending your knees towards your shoulders, releasing your shoulders and your tailbone down to the ground. Bringing your feet down to your mat, extending your arms and your legs out comfortably. Knowing that all your hard work is done here. And all you have to do now is relax in Shavasana. You're welcome to stay here for longer, but if you would like to wake up with me, start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms over your head for one final full body stretch. Hugging your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. Thanking yourself for making this time for your mind and your body today. Rolling over onto your right side. When you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat with your hands at heart center and your eyes closed. Thank you so much for coming and practicing with me today. The light in my heart honors and cherishes the light inside of each and every one of yours. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for coming to Yogalates. I hope you liked it. I really hope to see you next week or on Sunday in my in-person class. I'm going to stop the recording.